Visage is kind of a creep in the first 5 levels. You only really take off once you get your ultimate. But Batrider is way more of a threat, and that's going to be the Raven Alchemist. I love this. All right. From right now, I'm telling you, this Fnatic draft way more competitive than the last one. Like, just from these 3 picks that we've seen, you've got solid control from the Primal Beast and the Batrider. Your laning stage is going to be relatively decent. Hokori, now all of a sudden, the timer that they were like in the previous game, Hokori, they knew that Fnatic was on a timer. They knew that late game they would win it. Just that's it. There's no contest here. In this game, late game, Fnatic, massive advantage. We haven't seen the carry from Hokori, but it almost is irrelevant. Like, Alchemist late game is such a monster. Maybe we could see. I'm feeling the Terrorblade. I think if you're Hokori, you might want to take the Terrorblade if it's still in the pool, because we've seen the Alchemist go Radiance. You get that reflection. It's pretty good. So I imagine that's. I feel like Terrorblade is something you want to go for. Unfortunately, Terrorblade versus Batrider Primal Beast. That's tough. Like, that's a tough lane for them. I'm looking at this Hokori draft. I'm thinking, my God, you have to pick a carry that's good in these against these two, and who can beat an Alchemist late game. That's a tough one. That's a toughie.
Would you, looking at this lineup here, would you consider maybe throwing the Undying here in the off lane as a position 3, pick up the AA up against the Alchemist, and then go for something like a Lifestealer maybe?
What do they go with? They go with
Omni-Knight. Okay.
Huh. Interesting. I believe Gardic plays a lot of Omni-Knight, doesn't he? That's yeah, he plays a Omni-Knight. That is very strange. That is very, very strange, this Omni-Knight pick. So you have Omni-Knight, Tiny, and Undying, and one of these is going to be a core. It could be. Yeah, I don't know. This is a very odd Hokori draft. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm leaning towards a strength carry coming out. Sven, possibly? Could that be something Hokori goes for? I mean, you have the Tiny. He could be a carry. You can put the Heavenly Grace on. Actually, this Omni-Knight pick is starting to make a little bit more sense, because you can do the the Heavenly Grace on ally. You get the Dispel on you. That was a nice buff that you received. So you can remove all those sticky arrows. You can literally go in, get 5/6. You Heavenly Grace your ally. You get 6 magic 6 charges. Just delicious. All good stuff. Maybe you do shift the Undying to the pause 4 or the off lane. I think the off lane more. You pick an off laner the last pick. I don't know. It's still a very weird draft, but I do think the Omni is going to be the 5 now. I can't imagine you want the Undying 5 when you have an Omnet in the pool right there in front of you. You can use.
Yeah. The amount of the Terrorblade. Okay. And so what do we look at? If we're looking at strength, we've seen a couple of carry Legion commanders coming out.
That's true.
But that was mainly, I think it was mainly because they were playing up against the Broodmother. We've seen a couple of Wraith Kings as well. I think Hokori has actually played the Wraith King.
I guess so. By the way, the even though he's not exactly a hero we've talked about, Faceless Void is in the pool if they want to go for it, But
would that
Faceless Void
be risky with a Lich already though?
So it's going to be the Primal Beast off lane. Okay, so mid Batrider and Alchemist here. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's only a problem if you catch your own allies, right? And if Lumiere can avoid doing that, if he doesn't go for the 10-man. I guess in this case it's 9-man, right? 9-man.
Thinking with the Sinister Gaze coming out though, if the Lich isn't locked down, you can always get the drag out onto the Faceless Void.
That is helpful. That's actually a pretty solid thing. But how long is that going to be viable, right? Like later on, we're going to see the BKB on the Faceless Void, and generally, it's not the longest duration. Sinister Gaze, like something like 2 seconds at max level, 2 and a bit. So it's not too. I see that what you're saying. Like, it is a good way to catch him out, but I don't really think it's too much of a counter. I think Faceless Void is still solid for Lumiere. What else is left in the pool? I feel like it's just Faceless Void. Is there anything else? What do they go with? They go with Faceless Void. Yeah, it has to be. Like, it just has to be. There's no other carry in this situation. With the Terrorblade out of the pool, it's gotta be the Faceless Void. Gardic is gonna play the Omni-Knight. So it's gonna be the offlane Undying. Okay, all right. I don't really. Game one, I felt very strongly for Hokori. I was like, Hokori's gonna win this. No, like I was, by hook or by crook, they're gonna win this, and I
Yeah.
bet my house on it. I mean, I really believed in them. In game two, this is much tougher to tell though. Fnatic, they look like they have a good team fight lineup. They can run at them. Raven late game is insane on this Alchemist. Rob, what do you think?
I think I'm going to defer to my analyst because he's the one that should be predicting here. He's the one with a higher MMR and should be seeing these heroes and knowing what they can all do.
I'm just a tiny bit higher, or just like 2 games. You beat 2 games, and you're ahead of me.
Yeah, if those 2 games give about 3,000 MMR each. No, what you got 6.5k? So
yeah, I'm like 6.7 actually right now.
6.7. Yeah, so if those games gave about 2.2k MMR each, yeah, I'm only about 2 games behind you.
How many double downs would you need to get that far? I wonder.
So many.
Okay, let's see. Hokori, on the other hand, they are not too bad. Like if you run at them, they have a Tombstone you're running into, a Dream Coil, Gardic with that Omega could do a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall, it's a toss up. Like I think Fnatic game one, a lesser team would have crumbled much sooner than them, and the fact that they held on as long as they did is a testament to how good they are. I think with this draft, I think Fnatic is going to be taking game two. Could go either way, honestly, but I'm going to go with Fnatic on this one.
Okay. How do you think specifically in the lane though? Like Raven going to be coming up against the Tiny, up against the Undying. How is the Alchemist going to be able to respond to that pick, or those picks? Excuse me.
Should be relatively okay. You're very durable on the Alchemist, and unless you should be able to almost always keep your distance away from the Undying. I mean, sorry, from the 2 heroes. Like, yeah, you might get tossed back, but if you just toss Avalanche, you can just TP out. It's a bit tough, honestly.
Yeah.
You have the Lich though. Sinister Gaze will keep you alive. Not Sinister Gaze, sorry. Frost Shield will keep you alive. I think that's all you really need. I think that the spam from Decay is going to be annoying, but he's starting off with the magic. He'll be fine. I think overall he'll be okay. I don't think that there's a huge amount of damage on Hokori. They could harass him, and maybe if he plays a little too greedy, he dies. But he should generally be okay. I don't think they're going to be able to get kills on Fnatic's side. Like, it's be pretty tough for them to get kills.
Do you think? Because I mean, we've seen a lot of the Undyings go for the mech builds. Not specifically the Guardian Screams build, but the mech build. But do you think here the Undying wants to go for like a quick Spirit Vessel up against the Alchemist, or is that just completely irrelevant because Alchemist's going to get that quick PKB out?
Looks like I think he's gonna go for the Wraith back to Undying, honestly.
Yeah.
Right now, he's already got the Ring of Bats. I think even though it's a core Undying, we've seen a lot of them defer back to that almost a support, like a utility item build. You go for the Ring of Bats. I thought they'd go for the Echo. We saw the Echo Saber and the Shards come out, but that's about it. Then they just go back to standard support items, and I think that he's going to go with that as well. You can see he's got the Arcane Boots. He's going to go for Ring of Basilisk, which is going to be the Wraith pack, and I think you want that because their job Vitali's job in this game isn't to scale into the late game; is to make sure that mid game they don't lose too much.
Yeah,
you gotta give the Faceless Void time because Alchemist might come online a bit sooner, and you want to have the advantage when that happens. You don't want to feel like Lumiere's got one Chronosphere in him, and that's it. If he doesn't get a 5-man, he's going to lose the game. So I like that if Vitali plays a little bit more supportive, if that makes sense, with his item build.
And like you've talked about before as well, the Undying being able to drop the Tombstone around the Chronosphere, those zombies will build up and up and up, so that might be, against skill-wise, do you think he is going to be going for another max, excuse me, he wasn't playing the last game, but Vitali here, do you think we're going to see another max Tombstone build coming out from this Undying?
You can afford to go max Decay, you know, because you're going to get the levels anyway, and Decay just scales so well. Like, Tombstone is good as pretty solid, but even level 2 Tombstone is going to be pretty hard. Because you look at Fnatic, you got one guy who disarms himself, and you got Rubik, Rubik and Lich, who are like literally centuries old with no attack speed. And you got Batrider, who also disables himself on Helasso. So I don't think you're particularly worried about your Tombstone last. Like, Raven's the only guy who can really deal with the Tombstone. He's not going to be fighting in the like when Vitali is level 10, most likely. It's going to be the jungle getting that Radiance.
Yeah.
And check out that Decay, minus 12 strength on the Alchemist. He takes like a quarter of his life just from that free throw. Pretty annoying to be against this lane. But killing him might be another order for, might be a tall order for Hokori.
Yeah, so Disruption, the name of the game at the minute here. Januel, I like this from Theo as well. He's just going to come in, he's just going to block the camp with his body. Gets another tree from that now as well. And yeah, so the lane's going to push up a little bit, but Raven, like you say, he's still taking a lot of damage here. Undying going straight for those mana boots and not going for, because I mean, we've seen a couple of Undyings go for the Soul Ring early on. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Firefly's going to be coming out, and that's going to be the first blood. Armel picks it up, diving onto the puck. The tower shot's not going to be able to take him down. In fact, he's even going to be able to get a water rune after the fact, so should be able to fill his life up pretty much.
Gardic?
Do have enough to get the kill. With the trample coming out, jabs. Was that onslaught? It's going to connect. One more right click. Is it going to be? It's not. Not with that Heavenly Grace coming through. And Lumion now will be able to put a little bit of aggro onto jabs. But yeah, Gardic, with the extra strength, the extra HP regen coming out there, keeps himself alive.
Yeah, it's such a, this. I mean, Heavenly Grace is just such a strong spell, and you get so much health regen, but barely keeping him alive in that situation. But yeah, he's gonna be fine. However, Raven in this, Raven, is he losing his life? He does. Interesting. I mean, and John Wells going to be taking a bit of damage as well. That is a little unexpected. Interesting stuff from Theo to go with it. I mean, we mentioned that he does the tree throw, but that extra right-click damage, along with those decay stacks, means that when Theo hits someone, he hits hard. John Wells gets tossed back to creeps, but looks like he's just going to be fine. Theo just wanted to make sure he's able to get the bounty run before him. And poor John Wells.
Oh, the salve.
Yeah. Oh, God. That is...
That's not great.
No, not good, not good at all. And the fact that the enemy faceless void is tripling your CS is also really awkward.
Yeah, I didn't realize the Alchemist had got so little right clicks. I thought he was doing all right in the lane, but yeah, no, he's being kind of forced out. And Daniel just goes and denies himself. Like I say, he's just looking for that regen, so he just denies himself to a tower to get that full. Get himself back full health, full mana after having that salve, unfortunately for him, cancelled.
By the way, Armel in the mid lanes, he already got like that solo kill on the Puck, and Puck, is he gonna be okay? He already has a Lucio orb. Will Armel try to go for it? No. Nah, it looks like he realizes I can't get it. Rubik, meanwhile, sorry, DJ shows up, and I think he denies the water rune. Either way, Analog, is he gonna be fine? I'm kind of worried about him. I feel like Armel, honestly, could be able to get another solo kill on Analog. Analog, he plays really well with his team, but Armel, when it comes to like this individual skill, has been the MVP in most of these Fnatic matches. He's just been the guy who keeps them in the game through the tougher stages.
Yeah, and he's going to be about, I think, a full, okay, 3/4 of a level ahead here of for Analog. So he is going to have the lasso to come out a little bit earlier. So yeah, like you say, if he gets on top of him, if he gets that lockdown, the perk could really struggle in this lane. And I'd like to say, I mean, but who do you rotate into this? Because maybe the Tiny that can come in and maybe help after level 6.
Nice. Theo, he was able to deny the Raven's courier before it reaches. So that's a little unfortunate. I'm not sure what was on it, but a little bit awkward. Yeah, if you were going to rotate here with the Bat Rider, I think you could go bottom. I mean, it's not too bad if you can catch Vitali, but you're right. Like going top, Omni-Knight as well as Faceless Void, that's a tough one. If you're going to rotate, I think you definitely have to go bottom. Like it's way too dangerous. You know, one time walk with the spell on top of you, it's way too scary to go up there. So might as well go for the safer kill, which is bottom. However, check out this nice deep ward they put near the bounty ruin by Hokori. That might spot him if he goes for like the bounty ruin, then goes for the kill. So really good move by Theo to do that.
Yeah, and surprising that Theo started off with the headdress instead of boots. He did get the boots out now, but it's not a build it's not an item you usually see the Tinies picking up here. Do you think he's going to be the one that goes in for the mech then? Or they might be able to get the jump onto the Bat Rider now as a Bat Rider, but the toss is actually going to be onto for Analog, and now the chase down with the Firefly. Lasso the drag back into the Firefly, and there's nothing that Theo can do. He just has to watch the Puck melt. Puck might be able to get the jump away though. Heavenly Grace does come out. Dream Coil's going to be there. He gets that level 6, so they might be able to do the damage to Armel. Armel, can he get himself away from us? Hammer of priority. It's not going to be enough to get the kill.
3-man rotation, and Armel doesn't die. I mean, yeah, he barely makes that, but he is... Dude, this guy is a god right now at the mid lane. What a move by Armel, forcing such a huge rotation here. And then, they look at the silence. You're like, yeah, we can get free farm on Raven for a little bit. We can get... Jabs can do well as well. So very impressive moves by Armel coming out here. He does need to be worried, though. The Lasso's cooldown is significantly longer than the Dream Coil was, like 25. No, holy crap, it's 45 seconds longer. So if you can match him ulti for ulti, you'll be fine. Check out Gardic though. He scouts out this stack. Fnatic needs to keep the stack safe because it's Raven's recovery or it could be Armel's boots of travel.
Yeah. Just on the bottom lane there as well, watching Raven, he ate the tree that gives this dire ward a lot more vision.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking he wouldn't. I mean, sorry, when Theo planted, I was like, is he gonna grab that tree? So it doesn't look suspicious. Like, oh, he just grabbed a random tree. But then, oh, Raven, that's awkward. Well, what can you do, right? When you're hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the Sorin for the Alchemist, but if we take a look at the net worth, 7.5 minutes in, he is about 500 gold behind this Faceless Void. We've not really talked about Faceless here, Lumiere, but he's got himself the Mask of Madness queued up. He's already got the Morbid Mask out. He's not too far away as well from the Quarterstaff, so he's having a really decent time. And I assume it's going to be the Maelstrom, because that's the build that we've seen the Faceless Voids go for. The Toss comes back, Tombstone's going to be dropped, and so will January, looks like. Even the Flesh Golem going to be popped here. Amma's going to try and rotate in, and he has that last up for the next 5 seconds. But January's going to go down already, and Raven has to be careful about getting involved with these zombies. Firefly burning down onto Vitaly. Vitaly's going to be dragged back, but do they have enough to keep him alive? The Heavenly Grace comes out, the Purification as well to keep Vitaly alive, and now the chase down onto Armel. Armel, though, that Tombstone will be taken down. Analog, he might come through. There's going to be the Dream Coil, but it looks like Armel's already out.
That was a bit of a misplay by Armel there. When he got the lasso, he assumed he had enough damage that he didn't need to move him back to the tower. Like he was burning, he was gonna die for sure. But Gardic, he gets the dispel off, removing the stacks, gets the heal off. And by the way, here's a cool thing that you guys need to go. No, Flesh Golem, the bonus damage is not based on when you transform. It's based on what you have right then in the second. So you get a whole lot more bonus damage. Bonus strength if you put on the Heavenly Grace. You don't just get that plus what is it, +8? No, you get that +6, +12. Yeah. So it's a huge amount of extra strength that he was able to get from the Flesh Golem just then. Oh, the Heavenly Grace save was so good. Hokori, I like what they're doing, honestly. This build, also by Lumiere, the Mask of Madness into the Maelstrom, like you said. I like it because that shows he wants to be a little bit active. I want to show up. I want to throw a Chrono. I want to be actually able to do some damage. He's not going for a Hand of Midas. He's not saying let me just farm. He's like, no, I want to be involved because I do think they realize how tough it's going to be in the mid game. Even with his whole team making space, it may not be enough to shut down Raven completely.
Yeah, and I mean, Raven is pretty shut down at the minute, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
About 1,000 gold behind, and he's having to move into the mid lane to look for last hits.
But to be fair, it's an Alchemist. He's going to recover no matter what. So even you give him 3 minutes alone in the jungle, he's going to be number one network to Januel, loses his life. But what I mean is, Lumiere is going to be joining his team to create even more space to make sure that they have a decent advantage, so that when Alchemist is online, he doesn't take over the map. They don't want this to be an even net worth game in any way.
Yeah, and look at this as well. Vitaly's going to go straight for the Lotus Orb. So the Ring of Basi just come out. He's going to go straight for that Lotus Orb to make sure that even if Gardic isn't there, there's a way to deal with that lasso. Yeah, and even a Chain Frost can be reflected. Yeah. A Fate Bolt, a lift top lane. Lumiere, are they going to go for this? Actually used the Chronosphere earlier. Oh, Pulverize comes in. Armel's got that Boots of Travel now as well. Telekinesis, but did he have the time walk? He does. He might be able to catch him. No, there's going to be a separation, so it's going to be a 2-man Chronosphere at least. But Dream Coil comes out. Rubik could be the sacrificial lamb here. The time walk forward now as well. Armel's already away. He's got that Firefly going. He's down onto the cliff. The Purification. Turn right back around, but Lumiere's going to be fine. Gets another time walk off. And Lumiere, it's going to be a 3-man rotation there. The Batrider showing off the Boots of Travel. And Lumiere, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. And with the Mask of Madness as well, the lifesteal coming through here, Lumiere's going to be back with the Purification as well. Back to pretty much full health. And
he has a Chronosphere now as well. Oh. Jabs goes in, he's like, I'm so angry at you.
But does he have the silence? No, he used the Mask of Madness. He's going to be silenced and taken down. Jabs gets the kill. Oh, just perfect timing on the Pulverize after the Mask of Madness comes out to keep him locked down. And now Armel chasing down Heavenly Grace. Going to come out for Gardic. But is there going to be a rotation through Theo? There's going to be a tree toss, but Armel should be able to get himself away from this.
One nice thing about this Omni-Knight versus Batrider matchup, by the way, is that you're always going to get at least one Dispel off. Yeah. And that means you're going to get an additional, 5 strength, 5 health, and later on 6 health. That's a huge amount. You're always going to get at least that. And Lumiere, oh dear.
Come in, time dilation. Chronosphere comes out onto the Batrider, so they are going to be able to get the cleanup here now as well. The Orb, does he want to go forward onto this? Maybe catch out Jabs. Theo's going to be there, has that toss, but nothing to toss back to.
An interesting build by Theo. I know you mentioned the headdress, but check it out. He's also going for phase boots, not tranquil boots. You know, he wants the phase boots for himself. He is like putting some emphasis into a bit of right clicking. You know, with that tree grab level 1, he's got the phase boots. I mean, he's not gonna go for Echo Saber, Aghanim Scepter, but you kind of wonder, maybe he will. You know, if this was, well, in your MMR bracket, he would be. You know, he'd be like, "Don't worry, guys. I know I'm a support Tiny, but if I get the Aghanim Scepter with a good Chronosphere, I could tickle the enemy."
I mean, if they're thinking this game is going to go late, like late, because there is an Alchemist.
Late.
Yeah, like late, like proper late. We're talking like the sun rising again late. Yeah, but if they think it is going to go late here, Raven is going to be caught out now as well. There's going to be the Haste of Dream Cold's already been using Armel. Maybe a bit of protection, but he doesn't have that lasso. 4 heroes around them, so Analog needs to be careful. But yeah, if they think it's going to be late, it could be this semi-core build that comes out for Theo that maybe he does get a shot at an Aghanim Scepter at some point. Maybe they get it off the Roshan, and he can put out the damage that way. For now, you know, he sticks to a little bit of utility. He's got that little bit of damage with the phase boots. So yeah, it could be like... This could be Hokori thinking that, yeah, this game is going to go maybe 40, 50 minutes, so we don't want to put Theo on the back foot by thinking it might end in 30, and then he's got like a pure support build.
Huh. That would make sense, but I think these guys aren't playing on that planet. They're playing on planet Earth, unfortunately. They're not as creative as us at Fnatic. That's a little bit of an awkward attempt here. No close for 50 seconds, but Tombstone's dropped out. DJ, is he going to be...
Did he steal it?
Pretty good.
Yeah, okay, the damage is going to be Chain Frost coming through. Lumia gets blown up. Januel gets that kill. The Chain Frost carries on going now as well. Since the gaze, the drive back onto Analog, there will be that Lotus Orb, so there's not going to be the Pulverize to come out. And now the Flash Golem's going to be used. Heavenly Grace, is it going to be enough to keep Analog alive? Analog looks like he might be able to get himself out of this now. Jabs, the turnaround kill comes. Vitaly, does he want to carry on pushing? Has that Lotus Orb back up in 2 seconds? And Analog doing his best to keep Analog healed up. But this is creating space for Raven.
Yes. And by the way, he went for the max decay build on Undying, which is really... I imagine he's going to go for the decay damage talent. That's so good. That's so good for farming because it does double damage to creeps, so you get an extra 120. You can just clear out a small camp with 1 use. You can clear out the creep, like the lane creeps with a couple. So it's pretty good. Raven, he already has the Sacred Relic if he wants to buy it. And like we said, he's #1 net worth.
Yeah.
You know, like 5 minutes ago, he was bottom. Now he's #1, and this is the Alchemist factor. No matter how much Hokori tries, Alchemist is going to get his farm, so it's way better to shut down the other 4 so he doesn't have the backup. And I like what they're doing. Lumiere, though, he's got the Chrono.
This is going to be the last so that the drag back comes through. Look at the burst damage. With the Acid Spray now as well, he's not going to be able to get off the time walk.
Very unfortunate for Hokori here. Lumiere showing himself in the lane. Not expecting anyone was going to be there. There's no tier 1, so he thought that he has time just to push it out.
They have this really deep ward as well that's going to see a rotation coming through the jungle. So maybe thinking he was safe, and that smoke rotation comes through, and he just gets absolutely cleaned up.
DJ just walks through a bounty rune without picking it up. I guess Armel's gonna take it, but yeah, if I was Alchemist, I'd be like, pick it up the moment you see it. Just no, I want that. I get double, sir. And yeah, Raven, he is... I imagine he's going to have the Sacred... He's going to have the Radiance right after finishing up this camp. So he is giga rich right now. And Lumiere, this is the exact opposite situation that we had in Game 1. Yeah. Where it was Raven in the bottom of the cores and Lumiere on top. Here's like, nope, Lumiere's way at the bottom. And Raven is just starting to... Well, I'm not going to say lap him in terms of net worth, but really suppling at Lumiere. He's going to go for the Chrono.
Did they get the jump on? They might be able to do enough damage onto this Barrier with that Chronosphere. Rotations coming through now as well. Yeah, they are going to be able to clean up onto Armel. So Lumia getting another kill on the board. 2, 3, and 2 here for him. Not too bad. I like that he's going for the Shard straight away as well after this Maelstrom does come out.
Yeah, he wants to fight. You know, that's the face of what. Top lane, Jabs going for Theo. He's about 1,000 gold from his blink dagger. He just puts in the Seeds of Serenity. He's like, I'll just stand here. You know, do you know how much armor I have? Like, are you really gonna try and kill me? Okay. In the meantime,
I was just say the Seeds of Serenity. Pronounce that active. Vidurusdale.
Oh God. No, I'm not English. I'm not a native English speaker. I'm not gonna go for it. You know, like he's serenading himself or something. I don't know what. He's seething himself. He's doing something. I'm not gonna go with that active. What does it even mean? Like, what is that active? What is Ice Frog I told you he was high when he came up with this. There's no way he was completely sober when he thought of this active name.
Mid lane.
Well,
Jabs.
probably has been.
He's just going to slow himself away.
And where are we? Yep. Look at Raven, by the way. He already has the Ogre Axe after finishing the Radiance. He is just farming it up. And Corey, they are in a weird timer where around like, you know, the 30 to 40, 45 minutes mark, Fnatic's very strong. But when you go ultra late, you know, you are a little bit stronger, of course, just because you have the Chronosphere. Like, that's still insanely powerful. Like, you don't have to be matching the Alchemist net worth to kick his ass on a Faceless Void. You know, one Chrono, you get enough damage to do a lot.
They're going to be able to get the Dream Call onto Pyro. Can he get himself away from this one? Now, Armel, he's going to be locked down. Was those bashes? Analog will be able to get the kill.
Second time in a row he's died in the bot lane. And Fnatic, they kind of recognize, of course, giving them room to breathe. We haven't seen like this 5-man group up. I think all... Yeah, the mid-tier one, the top-tier one for Fnatic's. So they're like, let's just be greedy and farm. And of course, they're punishing it a little bit, but they're not doing severe structural damage. They're not taking a Roshan. They're not doing enough, basically. You know, they're punishing Fnatic, but it's more like a slight slap on the wrist than it is a knockout punch.
Yeah, I like this as well from DJ, that he's just hanging around the creeps, maybe waiting for Theo, to try and... Because Theo might pull another tree, but I think he was waiting to see if there was an avalanche thrown out to help farm this, and Theo's just having none of it.
And he's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, dude, come on. This is the Echo Saber build. Haven't you heard of it? He is going to have the Blink Dagger first. All right. Do you think... I mean, I really wish he goes for something crazy like that. Get him Scepter. I know he won't, but it would be really fun if he did. This tiny.
DJ's going to show, though, and Theo... I mean, the Blink's only just flying out, so he's not going to have it to get on top of DJ, maybe get a quick Avatos combo and burst the Rubik down.
Check out dying. He went for the Echo Saber. He's going to go for the Shard build. Okay, and then he's going to go for BKB. So he feels like Lodestorm is enough utility. And it is a huge deal, right? You can reflect the Alchemist stun. You can reflect basically everything from the Lich and the Rubik. Like, there's a lot of utility coming out from this Lotus Orb, so I like it. And in the meanwhile, the 4-man smoke. They smoke off Fnatic. It's smoke's gonna break. Oh, they both know.
Yeah, where's that Blink gonna come from? It's gonna be the BKB here from Armel, the drag back with the Lotus Orb, so he's not gonna be able to get the lasso off onto Vitaly. And now there's gonna be a really nice Dream Call. Raven though pops that BKB, and now the lasso comes back, the drag back, the Chain Frost bouncing around as well, the Pulverize to keep them locked down, and this is gonna be an absolute cleanup here for Fnatic. And there was just nothing that Hokori could do after that lasso comes out. The Lotus Orb goes down, and so do 3 heroes on the side of Hokori.
That was a bit odd that they decided to do that and not bring Lumiere. He does have the Chronosphere, and he has been like his item build does indicate that I want to fight, but he's gonna go for the Lincoln Sphere. Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure. I think I like that more than the BKB. I mean, if you BKB and you have a Lotus Orb on top of you, it's basically nothing that Fnatic can do, right? Like the lasso is the only thing that would break the Lincolns, and you wouldn't want to use it because you'd self lasso. And then there you have a BKB, but this Lincoln's on him.
Does it block the unstable concoction?
I think it does. I think you can use it while it's flying towards you, and it still blocks it. If that makes sense. I don't think I think you can. So I don't know. I'm really not digging this item build from Lumiere. It's kind of you can just get the BKB and be like Vitaly. Always throw that Omni. Plus you already have the Omni-Knights, right? Like you can remove so many effects. So
I suppose it stops like the Sinister Gaze, the telekinesis coming out as well when he jumps in for a Chronosphere. Yeah,
true.
But
doesn't the BKB stop all those as well?
I was gonna say,
like,
but
he knows
BKB,
best, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, he knows best. Lumiere, like, if this is the build that he goes for, this is the build that should be followed. Like, this is the right thing no matter what. But it is, it's a bit questionable for our lizard brains. They're like, this seems a bit strange. In the meantime, what's not strange is that Fnatic has a 4,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, and Vitaly, how's he looking here? Getting towards that. So he's got the Ogreaxe. Is this Ogreaxe just for the stats before he gets that shard, or would you prefer the BKB here before the shard to come out for Vitaly?
I think I want him to get BKB, honestly. Oh, bottom lane, Lumiere is going to be fine. Yeah, I think I want him to get the BKB. If he can go for it, just get the BKB. Both are fine, though. The lower cooldown flesh gold means you can have it activated basically all team fights.
Yeah.
But hold that thought, because Fnatic, they're for man smoking. All they're gonna find is Gardic though. Now what you want, Lumiere, is he actually gonna control this TP? Is he gonna finish it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one, but
Oh,
yeah, he is gonna complete now as well. Backlines, does he want to try and drop the tombstone? The avalanche comes out. He just catches everybody inside this chronosphere. What damage can they do? The orb flies through from the puck as well. But this is gonna be prime targets for the Chain Frost, and there's just nothing. Lumiere has to time walk himself out of this now as well. The Sister Gaze onto the Undying. Vitaly, can he survive through this? They do get the kill onto Armor on the backlines, but the onslaught, it comes through from jabs, and they're still gonna be able to take down Vitaly. Lumiere, he wants at least one kill from this. And yeah, he just set up his team up. Does he have the damage to take down jabs? Telekinesis comes out. Time Walk once again trying to keep himself alive, and Analog will be able to get the kill now. It's going to be a really nice Shadow Amulet. No reveal. The Purification. The Orb, though, it's enough damage. They might be able to chase through this. The Puck into the Orb. Does he dive himself, excuse me, the Rubik with the Orb? They are going to be able to get the kill onto Raven, though, as it looks like there was the bait coming through from DJ with this Orb, and he just doesn't jump to it. TPs himself out. So even though that was a chaotic, and I underline the word chaotic, chronosphere there, still a really nice trade. Okay, they get the buyback out from the Omni Knight, but they take down Raven. They get 4 heroes on the side of Fnatic, and that was... Lumiere keeps himself alive. He just carries on going. He's got that farm time for the next 25 seconds over the Alchemist.
That might be the story of the game right there, that fight, which is that if it goes long enough, if the game or the fight goes long enough, Hokori will win.
Yeah.
You know, just because you have that insane chronosphere, like, it's just such a strong ability. You have decent, like, heroes to work with it. And Gardic, if he, you know, that buyback was clutch. But like we said, if he doesn't buyback, though, that could have been a very different fight. He had to, like, time his ultimate very well. And Lumiere, he didn't get a, like you said, a chaotic chronosphere, just catching his allies. We talked about the Chain Frost being a problem, but I think... don't quote me on this. I think the zombies absorbed a fair amount of those Chain Frost bounces.
Yeah, and once the BKBs are up for Hokori as well, if there's something else like that happens again, we do have to sacrifice a couple of our allies inside the Chronosphere to catch out 2 or 3 heroes on Fnatic. You know, BKBs going through the Chain Frost isn't going to be that effective. If he holds it for afterwards, maybe. But yeah, there is going to be protections coming out here for the side of Hokori, but that was just one of those fights that you look at it in the moment, it's so like, what is he thinking? But they did end up able to capitalize off that, and even through that Chain Frost, like you say, the zombies picking up a lot of the damage, and they just turn that fight around.
By the way, Faceless Void, he's got a Chronosphere in 10 seconds, and he's got a bottled double damage Ruin, and he's gonna go for a Molineer before the BKB. I mean, like I said, Lumiere, he is ballsy, man. He wants the damage. He's like, Lincoln Sphere is enough to protect me. I don't need more than that. I'll get the BKB after. And Undying, what's he going for? He's got 2,000 gold, so hasn't committed yet. I mean, if he wanted the shot, he would have got it by now. So I do think he's going for the BKB first. I like it because I think he wants the BKB himself and Lotus Orb Lumiere and just be like, okay, this is, you know, I've done it. We're all well protected here.
Yeah. And like I say, it's going to be a full 5-man smoke rotation here. Smoke might break. Amel's cliffed himself. He pulls that self-teasy for the vision. And yeah, Analog just backs himself away.
Well, how long does that bottle have? It already has a double damage rune is used. You know, you activate early. You might forget to activate the fight, and you die. And you're like, oh wait, I had it. I like what he does there. I haven't talked much about jabs. He's got the Black King bar. He's going to go for the Kaya Sanj build. I believe we've seen this come out quite a bit, you know, where you get a ton of extra strength test resistance. And Primal Beast, I feel like the more we see people try to force this here as a core, the more I am less impressed by it. Like, the damage of this here is just not amazing, you know? It feels like great tank, damage is solid but not amazing. And then we see everyone's like, oh, trying to force it just doesn't seem to work. They're going to go for Roche. This is what is the second Roche. I'm trying to click on the damn thing. It's okay. It's the first Roche of the game. Hokori, they don't seem very wise to it. Lumiere all the way on the other side of the map. TP scroll is available, but he needs to move.
Yeah, they have no scan for this either, so they're not going to be able to scout out when this Roche, or if this Roche is being done to them. And like you say, everybody's separated, so this will be a free Roche for Fnatic. Fnatic have some really good wards down as well to see any rotations in, any pushes in from the side of Hokori, and that's good. Yeah, free Aegis here for Raven.
And, alright. But this means that, that's kind of weird that Hokori would just let that go. I thought they were kind of going to be all over it, but it's fine. Alchemist now he's got the assault QS, so he's got a good amount of armor for himself and his allies. Rubik's got the the Force Staff as well as the Aether Lens. Meanwhile, Jean-Well has only got the Glimmer Cape. Poor guy. Position 5, always poor. Bottom lane.
Well, they might be able to go the lasso, the lockdown, though. Can they get anything from this? They're going to be able to come in. Is that Pulverize going to come through onto the Faceless Void? Faceless Void not going to be able to get the Time Walk off. They get the kill.
What an amazing like the way they were able to stack this on. Super good by Fnatic. This is why I thought that game 1, despite their loss, they looked like pretty impressive. Their communication on point that in that situation right there. So well played for them. Lumiere is down for a minute. We'll see where they're going to go with. They might be able to just get that bottom tier 1. Still doing some structure damage. Meanwhile, for Hokori, the enemy mid is still standing. Like, this is what I was kind of worried about when they were playing early on. They just weren't making enough space.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bottom
Theo?
lane. Did he catch out Theo? Theo's going to try and go, but they're going to be able to get the Pulverize. Did he lock him down from the TP? And now Theo. Well, it looks like they're going to be able to melt this piece of stone here. Trying to get himself away, but one more right click and Armel will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, this is why I was thinking Hokori would consider doing a little bit more when during the mid game when Raven was sort of still farming. Lumiere had his Maelstrom as well as his Mask of Madness. Instead, they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, and it's gonna be turning into a bit of a scary situation for them. Although only Raven's very farmed. You look at Jabs and Armel. Armel in particular has had a pretty bad game this
yeah, I think every time he went bottom lane he ended up getting ganked by Lumia. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a great player, but this game particularly has been heavily punished.
Yeah.
Well, they take the tier 2 bomb as well. That does refresh Hokori's glyph if they want to use it.
Let's get the dive onto Jabs. So Jabs going to get himself away. The Silence comes in with a Waning Rift. Do they want to try and drop a Dream Call? He's using the trample. The Dream Call will be coming in, and Raven's got himself a double damage. He gets the stable concoction, but the Time Walk out here for Lumia. So they're not going to be able to capitalize. Do they want to go even further on this? Again, the Raven with that double damage rune. Do they want to carry on catching him? No. Okay, they back away. The Tombstone has been dropped, so they don't want to fight out of range with that though as well. And Lumia didn't want to try and throw the Chronosphere again when it would have only caught onto Raven.
Unstable concoctions also running out, and you want to be able to take the fight just as that thing is already. He's going to go for Skull Basher on the Alchemist. So with his fast attack speed, you don't have to rely entirely on unstable concoction. He's already got the Salt Cure. You can just jump on Raven with your ultimate. That could be more than enough to bring the kill on Lumiere. It's still a very tense game. The 6,000 gold advantage does not mean that Fnatic is going to win this. In fact, the graph says it's Hokori that has a win rate percentage advantage here. They're 53% here. I would say that their win probability is 53%, but the Overlord knows.
Yeah, well, I mean, this net worth gap, it looks like it's solely between the Faceless Void and the Alchemist, and you would expect the Alchemist to have, that accelerated. Like you say, it's an Alchemist. Of course it's going to get so far ahead. The Basher does come out, and yeah, so it is, apart from that Alchemist, fairly even between the two sides. In fact, the Puck's a little bit ahead of the Batrider. Yeah, and you can see that 3 out of the top 4 are on the side of Hokori in terms of net worth.
They want to try to go for a backstab here on the Hokori? No. Oh, Raven! Whoa, that's a jump.
I mean, Raven, yeah, he has that BKB for the next minute, but the back line says you want to try and go here. He's going to be the Time Walk back out, and Lumia, he gets the bash onto Jabs. Jabs, can he go through? He's got that BKB, but it will be taken down. And now they've got a lot of damage. Chronosphere on the back lines. It catches out onto Armel, as well as the Rubik Chain Frost. It bounces through because of this the Ice Spire, but he's going to be able to get 2 kills here now, as well as the Age is going down on the Alchemist, and the Alchemist going to get himself away. Time Dilation is going to be used. He doesn't have the BKB. He's not going to be able to get himself away. The chase is on Yanuel. Can he get himself out of this? The Primal Beast already TP'd out.
Did Raven blink himself into that situation? Or was he tossed back?
I think he was tossed back.
Okay, because that would have been a very interesting blink for him to go for, and that is a heavy punish by Hokori. It's like, no wonder it was 53% for them. No wonder it was more likely, because now the timing. Fnatic, they're still relatively strong. They're still quite powerful at this stage. They can definitely beat Hokori without the Chronosphere, but you are running out of time for Fnatic. In 15 minutes, I don't think that there's any way that Hokori will lose in a 5-on-5 as long as they get a good Chronosphere. Right now, it's like even if a good chronosphere, Raven can survive it. He can throw a good frost shield off it, but in a few minutes, that won't be the case.
In
So
fact,
I am.
I think Raven here, Theo's got a 4-staff. And I think this was the first showing of the 4-staff. So he 4-staffs Raven, because Raven's attacking that tier 3. So he 4-staffs Raven into the base a little bit further. Yeah, tosses him back even more.
Because I didn't see that. I was just like, all of a sudden, Raven was just way deep, and I was like, huh. Well, good. Theo's just insane. Like, he is just having an absolutely great series. Both games are the Tiny. He and Gardic have Gardic as well in this Omni. He's done work to keep a few of them alive. He's got the Glimmer Cape. He's got the Eye of the Vizier, so he gets that extra cast range. Overall, the supports on Hokori have done a fantastic job, and Theo's aggressive plays, like, he doesn't do much damage, but the Aghanim Scepter can fix that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, he's doing a great job of just moving people around, and really good on this Tiny. 5-man smoke for Fnatic, though. They know that there's no crossfire. Those only going to be down for 10 seconds. They go for Vital.
Immediately taken away. Vital, he has that flash golem if he wants to do it. Tombstone, does he want to activate now as well? He's going to be stunned for a little bit, but that is going to be the Abyssal Blade coming through now. So reflected by the Lotus, and now they've got the damage chase onto Raven. Can he do anything to keep himself alive? Lumia is going to carry on going. Has that Chronosphere if he wants to drop it. Januel tries to get himself away. Raven's still going to be there. He drops him Stable Concoction. Lumia, they're looking for the space. Do they want to try and drop that Chronosphere? There was a a Tombstone being trolled. He catches 3! Massive Chronosphere comes out now as well. The Batrider going to be the next target and going to be cleaned up as well. Primal Beast, Jabs, what can he do? He's got the Pulverize coming through. Gardic though, Lincoln Sphere is going to be the Jabs. He's trying to get himself away from this. Absolutely not going to be able to do it. It's going to be, looks like a complete cleanup here. Januel's trying to sacrifice himself for Raven, so at least Raven, does he get the TP away? He's going to be able to get out safe, but he's going to be the only one.
Oh, God. I mean, literally after we praised Gardic for being a good Omni Knight and saving his allies, what does he do? He saves Vital. Instant. Like, I mean, oh my God, that was instant dispel on the lasso. And in that fight, by the way, if you look at Raven, he really wanted that Tombstone. He went all in on it. Then we saw the max level sword just bring that back to life, and he really stuck to that Tombstone, and he got punished for it. I don't think he was able to. They lost anyone on Hokori's side, whereas Fnatic lost 5, a dieback on Januel, and it's that timer. You know, we were saying that they're on a timer on Fnatic. That timer might be over. Like, this game, they might be in an almost unwinnable situation. Still, it's too early to say that. You know, they could just surprise us, but you gotta get rid of Gardic. You have got to kill this Omni Knight, because his Guardian Angel, his Heaven and Grace have been too much. There's nothing that can remove it. There's no Yule Scepters on the enemy side. There's no Nullifier. There's no normal ability that can take it off. There's no stolen ability that can take it off. You're in a huge amount of trouble against this Omni Knight. It was a great pick by Hokori.
Yeah. Another thing as well, the Raven, using the Abyssal Blade on the Lotus Storm Undying. It was just, I mean, maybe the heat of the moment, a little bit of a mistake, or maybe he didn't see the Lotus Orb, but, you know, it just kept him locked down. When the rest of the team were trying to run away, you know, Raven was just there. He was locked down. He was being picked off, and the Undying was, you know, able to get his entire kit out thanks to that Lotus.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this Lotus Orb pickup's so good. He's going for the Wraith Pact after. Hey, I like what he's doing. He's switching between utility and, like, core items, you know, the BKB and the Shard, and he's like, and the Echo Saber. And he's like, oh, I want a Wraith Pact. The first item, Lotus Orb, did so much to slow the aggression coming out from Fnatic. Yeah. Like, they wanted to take fights, but they just can't, because this Lotus Orb does great work for them. Even if you jump on the Omni Knight, if he's got Lotus Orb on him, you know, you can just, like, you can't self lasso after that. I mean, you don't want to self lasso, sorry.
No. Lumia, after, because he's going back for the full Melania here, you know, trying to find himself worthy of Thor, but after this, do you think he goes for, breaks down the Mask of Madness and goes for a Satanic, or does he still want that attack speed inside the Chronosphere?
Nah, I think he'll get the Satanic at some point, you know, like, you already have enough coming out from Molyneux that you'll be fine. Oh, okay, he walks in. Yeah, and the Satanic, like, you could be losing the fight, you turn it on, you can live. Mask of Madness, you turn it on, you can't even time walk. Like, we've seen that actually cost him. Yeah. So later on, you're like, all right, I need it. Like Satanic's done its, like, sorry, Mask of Madness has done its job, and it's done it beautifully. Look at him. He's got the Lotus and the Lincolns on top of him. Does he have is there a second Lincolns on the team? There is on the puck, by the way. So he's got 2 Lincolns and the Lotus Orb. There is no way you can control this Faceless Void.
And, I mean, the bottom lane was being forced in, that'll rush us up. This is a really nice time because everybody inside of Fnatic just TP'd back to base.
The shard. I imagine you give it to the Omni Knight, right? Omni Knight gets the shard. It's
I mean, as everyone else...
no, Analog doesn't.
Okay.
You give it to Analog. Actually, Theo doesn't have it as well, but... Oh, and check it out. Theo's going for Lincoln's Spear himself.
Yeah, I mean, the Lotus Soap comes out, reflects the unstable concoction back onto Raven. And Raven, well, Lumia, does he want to go? Time Dilation comes out, there's going to be the jump, a really nice Dream Kill, but Raven goes for that BKB. Lumia can try and catch him out in the Chronosphere, but the first bash does come out. Lumia, the Raven, Chronosphere is going to be used now, so with 3 heroes around, they're going to be able to go. Raven is pretty darn tanky, there's going to be the jump in from Jabs now, but look at it, the Abyssal Blade comes out, the Lotus Soap though, Raven, can he get himself away from this one? Guardian Angel is going to be used, and Raven goes down, and now they can just mop up. Jabs tries to get himself away, Lumia gets the kill onto Januel, and he looks at Jabs in the trees, but they're not going to be distracted here on the side of Hokori. They know they've got that momentum, they've got the Aegis, they know that Raven's down, maybe force out a buyback, but he doesn't have it, unknown to Hokori. 60 seconds without this Alchemist.
And by the way, he got the Nullifier. We were talking about you need something to deal with the... Oh no, they lose DJ in the base. Oh, Analog. This guy, what a performance. And yeah, we talked about them needing a Nullifier. He gets one, but it is not enough. Check out what Jabs is doing. He's the bomb. He actually gets the range racks. He's going to go for the melee.
Yeah, he might give his life here just to take down this melee racks. Analog trying to do the best he can. And that is the right choice. Oh, but Theo, BKB comes out. They've got no way. The melee racks does still stand, but yeah, really good from Jabs there, just because the lane was pushing anyway. Just to say, right, okay, we lost that fight, but we're definitely going to get a trade out.
Yeah, well, good move by Jabs in that situation. Onslaught comes out. Oh, you might have Onslaught yourself right into the Tombstone, but he's gonna be generally fine. He's actually got Refresher Orb on the Primal Beast.
Double Pulverize, double BKB. Yeah,
I guess, yes. Not too bad. It's a 4.6 seconds then. Oh, the backdoor protection comes in. It's going to take a little bit of time for those creeps to reach. Oh, here we go.
Do they have the grab though? They do get the jump onto Gardic. The damage coming through from Lumia. They might be able to take down Armor, but Gardic's down. He buys back into this. Tombstone's going to be dropped. The Chain Frost is going to be bounced around the backlines. Jabs with that BKB. He's already used that Refresher. Was that second Pulverize going to come through too now as well? Vitali with his own BKB. Lumia doesn't have that Chronosphere for the next 23 seconds, so it looks like they might have held on to the base here. Lumia with the Aegis, but they don't want to overcommit. Dream Call's available there as well. But yeah, with Tiny being down, Gardic already buying back, they maybe just say, okay, we got a range racks, we don't overcommit, we don't commit that Aegis, and we can just thank our blessings it was only Gardic that needed to buy back.
Yeah, and even then he kind of didn't really need to, because there's like nowhere near that he could actually TP, but he, Hokori was like, we're gonna fight, so he didn't feel forced to do that. In the meantime, Fnatic, they get a little bit of breathing room, but that was a push that wasn't all of Hokori. Chronosphere wasn't ready, Aegis wasn't expanded, and he is level 25, but he's got a 20% backtrack, so he's now extremely durable, as he's been extremely durable the whole game, but now he's even more extremely durable.
What's he going for here? He's got the point booster. Is that an Aghanims? It is. It's going to be the Aghanims coming out for the Faceless Void.
Oh, what is it? Which one is this? This one's the time. Okay, I haven't seen this one for a while. Okay, cool. You're gonna time walk in. I don't think it activates when you on the reverse time walk, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't activate on that. So it's still good. Like you can just walk in, control Raven. Raven, his BKB is down to 6 seconds, so you are like it's not gonna last forever, and you get the time walk every few seconds. Just get that free bash off. It's really powerful.
In fact, they might be looking for the jump. Lumia, the smoke's gonna break Lumia though. Okay, blink away from Jabs, they just come right back onto this melee racks. And Frost Shield, so it's going to take a lot longer to get through. Waiting for this Frost Shield to wear off. Lincoln Sphere on top of Lumia as well as his own. But eventually, the Frost Shield does wear off, and this melee racks will go down. Onslaught comes in, but he just time walks himself away from it. They're going to go for the tier 3 bottom now as well.
Yeah, you still have a minute on the Aegis. You want to make sure you get a much... Oh, okay. I hate when they do that. You always think he's committing. This is so, it's so unfair, this shard. You think he's going to go in, he's going to commit, he's going to do stuff. And it's like, no, I was just joking. I've seen so many, players, casters, they activated BKB, they override, it's like, oh, he's going in, It's like, no, joke's on you. Oh,
Jabs are on the back lines. He does have that BKB going. He's going to be diving himself in. Does he get the kill onto Theo? He is going to be able to take Theo down. And again, Gardic's already brought back, so he has to be tough here now as well. Tombstone gets dropped, but do they have enough to take down Vitaly? Vitaly going to be dragged back. The Abyssal Blade comes out, so he's not going to be able to get that Lotus up. He's not going to be able to get off the Wraith Pact. And it looks like, again, Fnatic, they do hold. But now the TP's Gardic. Does he get caught out? He does get bashed off now as well. Eondis is going to proc, and Gardic not going to be able to get himself away from this one. The Pulverize comes out. They have the damage. They have the lockdown. He's dead 88 seconds. And
I think an Aegis was just reclaimed, so all of a sudden a huge window opens up for Fnatic. There's no Guardian Angel, there's nothing coming out from this Omni Knight, there's no Aegis, so you can, like, killing Lumiere, you only have to do it once now. It's still a very tall order. He's going to go for the Refresher Orb on the Faceless Void, which is pretty standard for him. But, if you are Fnatic, will you try to force something, or will you just go back to farming? Seems like they're not grouping up as 5, but they still have another mid until Gardic's up. Might just be able to get tier 2 here if they don't rush it.
Yeah, DJ going for the Ags as well. He's about 340 gold off picking that up. How's Raven looking? We've not checked in with him for a while. He's got the Nullifier. He's got the He's actually going to go for a Butterfly after the Blink.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a Swift Link. It's very common, right, on the Alchemist, because when he's jumping, he wants to make sure he gets those bashes off, and he's also been really focused on the Tombstone, which has become a problem for them. I think he went for the 2 DK. I was wondering if Undying would go for the Tombstone style, but yeah, it's only Raven who can deal with it. We've actually mentioned this during that. We said the only one who can actually deal with the Tombstone is the Alchemist, and you don't really want to do that, so the Swift Blink will help him out at least with that.
Yeah, but that's not a Swift Blink, though. That's a Eagle Song Evasion Quarterstaff. He wants the Butterfly after the Blink. Or maybe he does go back for the Swift Blink, but I suppose the Evasion would be nice up against the Faceless Void that's pure right-click.
Yeah. I know it's... Oh, sorry, you're right. But I just saw the Eagle Song, and I was like, well, it has to be...
Well, that's what I thought at first, and I thought, yeah, Swift Blink, that's what Alchemist usually goes for. But yeah, the Butterfly and not the Swift Blink. Oh, he changed his mind. Okay. It's going to be the
Overwhelming Blink. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I feel like I was like, he's gonna go for it because he's out of slots.
Yeah.
He's actually out of slots at this point. Like he's only got. You could get rid of maybe the phase boost and maybe the radiance, but the other 4 items, you can't. Oh, here we go.
Are they going to be able to get the jump on, though? It's going to be turned to the Avalanche. He might be able to lock down Theo. It's going to be... Does he want to go for the Chronosphere here now as well? But Lumia, he's not going to be able to get off just yet. Gets that bash onto Raven. There is going to be the Lincoln Sphere. And it looks like he wants to go even further now as well. Lumia is going to be able to get himself a double kill. And now a really good Chronosphere. The buybacks come through from the Lich. But what can they do? Aeon Disc now as well onto Arnold. Can he do the damage? As he looks at Vitaly. Just look at how big that zombie is. And they want to carry on going. Lumia gets a kill onto Arnold. But Jabs going around with the Pulverize. It's going to be a really nice... But the Lincoln Sphere pops now as well. So the Unstable Concoction doesn't actually hit Raven. Where's that bash? Anything to stop Raven? Does it come out? No, he does get the TP, but it's going to leave Jabs in no man's land. Jabs gets cleaned up.
And one cool, his flesh golem and BKB, and every decay, by the way, makes you bigger. Every time you get a decay stack on someone, so he had plenty of decay in that fight. Tough fight for Fnatic. These fights are going a little bit too long. They're not able to do anything to Lumiere. Like he's just not focused down. He just goes for Raven. He's like, let's just go one-on-one. I don't care. He's almost the same net worth as him. They're both 6 slotted. They're both more than 6 slotted. Oh, there you go. Refresher Orb is finished as well. He wants to get the MKB. He doesn't have buyback on Lumiere though. That's a bit of a risk. You're not going for... Like, if you bring him down and Fnatic says, let's just go for the throne, that is a legitimate option for them. They don't realize it because you can't check enemies' buybacks, but it is an option if they can get it.
Did you want to go? Yeah, it's going to be the lockdown here. Rubik, though, with the... is it going to be enough to keep him alive? No, there's going to be the time lock in. The time lock comes out, and DJ just goes down.
Yep, and Jean-Well might be losing his life after. Yep, there you go. For Analog, he's been hunting supports the whole game. He's 11, 2, and 17, by the way. And when you have 2 squishy supports against a puck god like him, you are just going to be melting the whole game. Poor supports, man.
Yeah.
8 and 9 deaths on them, and like half of them must be for Analog. Alright, Raven, he's level 23, by the way. Not even level 25 against Lumiere's 26.
Oh, they might come in. Does he want to go? I mean, the Chronosphere is going to be there in 23, so it'd be a waste, really, of that refresher. He might just save the refresher and wait for that second Chronosphere.
Top tier 2 is being pushed in as well, so Hokori has that option if they want to go for it.
BKB comes out now as well. Jabs, he's going to try and get the pulverizer Vitaly. He's looking pretty big in this flesh golem form, though. They might want to carry on going through. And Jabs, he gets that refresher off, so he's going to go for another trample. Has that BKB as well as the pulverize, but he's just going to be deleted. Has to buy back. And now there is 2 Chronospheres available for Lumia. Lumia, does he want to dive in? How invincible is he feeling here as this Faceless Void?
By the way, Alchemist, after all that speculation on items, and he goes for the Bloodthorn instead.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he does still have the mischance on that Radiance there as well. The attack speed would be nice for the Butterfly. But yeah, the mischance is still there. And he doesn't really need to worry about engaging on anyone because Hokori doing a great job of engaging on him.
Yeah, you know, okay, all right, that's interesting. Meanwhile, Hokori, Roshan will be up in 20 seconds. This is an elimination match, so they might not be in any rush to just go high ground. If they want, they can go for Roshan. It would be the 3rd Rosh of the game, I believe. But no, they smoke up. Looks like they wanted this now. You know, they wanted to send Fnatic packing here. Our first TIT might be going home.
Yeah, Chronosphere comes out. That's going to be the first one now as well. Raven's going to be dead. 90 seconds. Lumia, you can refresh if he wants to. The Chronosphere can come out. Time dilation going to be used. BKB is going to be there. He holds that Chronosphere for now, but the damage coming through Armel. And again, it's going to be the Alchemist. He catches
Lord.
3. Chain Frost bounces around,
GG.
but it's going to be doing absolutely nothing. And the GG does come through.
And really, Fnatic, the ultra late game favors Hokori, but that late game came at like 30 minutes. 30 minutes they were starting to win these fights that I thought Fnatic would have had in the bag. Either way, though, great performance by Guard. 2-0. Game 1, completely shutting down Fnatic's off lane. In Game 2, how many saves does he get against the Bat Rider? 1, but that still seems like a lot when you think about it. And Vitaly did a really good job. Theo with that Force Staff on Raven when he had the Aegis. I will have to go watch that just to make sure. But I think he, like you said, he Force Staffed in, and that's cost them the Aegis. Fnatic missed their timing because it is a bit of a, you have to thread the needle on it where your where your Alchemist is online, he peaks, and make sure that Lumiere doesn't, because and if you throw you lose a couple of fights, you lose the game. So Hokori, absolutely insane performance. These guys every game have been playing better and better. Like every time we see them, they've been playing better. The first time we saw them, it was like a quick 0-2 they lost, and now they're just taking out Fnatic. Fnatic is out of the tournament.
Yeah, and that is going to be, like you say, that was a TI level matchup between the two teams, and Hokori just coming out on top there. So maybe a little bit of confidence coming through before the main event does start. But our main event is still going to be going. We're going to be taking a quick 15-minute break as we wait for the second series of the day, which is going to be Team SMG versus Army Geniuses. But again, are going to have a 15-minute break before we start. So everybody get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, quick stretches, and come back for the second series of the day, Team SMG versus Army Geniuses. We'll see you after the break.